Sometimes you're at a crossroads. Shall we go to the right, or shall we go to the left? We have many such junctures in our lives, in our nations, in our society. The only nice thing is when you realize you've come off the fork in the road and you're going to go the other way down your one true path. So, with that in mind, the Second Age of Reason brings you a little chat about NASA and the space age. Is it coming or going? Good afternoon from the Second Age of Reason. On this beautiful autumn day, walking through the woods, realize that our planet is quite a paradise if we just let it bring the paradise to us. And so, we have other problems though. We have resources that are depleting. Resources are finite. They always have been, but now we're using them faster than ever. The Earth can replenish itself in time, but if we deplete it quicker than it can replenish, we're in trouble. I think we are. We started on a brilliant program, the space age, the NASA program. The idea is to get man off this planet, because at some point this planet will run empty of resources, and then what? Once the energy is gone, how will you heat yourself in the winter? How will you cool yourself in the summer? How will you get from point A to point B? Questions that need to be answered. The idea was, thanks to sci-fi, we could go up to the stars. We could go to the planets and the stars, find new resources, new Earths, new paradises, and maybe even new friends. You know, if we get out there, we're probably going to be the new kid on the block and the least civilized, most primitive, so we will be at a disadvantage, and we better make sure that we're making friends and not enemies. But what disappointed me was when I heard that the NASA budgets were being cut. The space shuttle is phasing out. It's too old. Well, why don't they have something new? I mean, I thought by now we certainly would be colonizing Mars with little bases there. Maybe even terraforming somewhat up there. The Moon because it's small, or Mars because it's easier. It is further. As stepping stones to the next level, you know, Jupiter has an awful lot of helium and hydrogen. We can do stuff with that. You betcha. Still, our rockets run with firecracker propulsion. I'm very disappointed in that. We have finite resources on this planet. We have a choice. We can either decrease our numbers to match what the planet's replenishment is, and that means a stasis economy. It means, and if not, it means wars, pestilence, famine. We don't like those at all either. So it seems that if you have any idea, any concept that you want growth, you're going to have to look beyond the planet. You're going to have to look beyond firecracker propulsion. And that's what they should be working on. Some say, why should the government do it? Well, I say, well, why hasn't the private industry already done it? Is there some law that would prevent any one of us from building a spaceship and flying it into outer space? Our own little flying saucer, perhaps. Is there anything preventing us from building a little village on the moon? What's preventing us? Is it money? Resources? I think governments are ideal for starting that because they have economies of scale. They can bring resources to bear and bring the required brain pools together to solve the technical problems. I think this is probably the best way to go because humanity likes to grow, likes to expand, and but there are several steps you have to take, and one of them is not budget cutting. It might be budget reinvesting, budget redirection into things that are more suited to solving those problems. But I would like to see NASA either, grow in the way of coming up with new propulsion technologies, or come up with a way for the average citizen or small companies to utilize and industrialize space, so that once you get the pump primed, you can move on. We have this paradise as a blueprint. We can make others. Bigger, smaller, better, nicer. Now that you know how this one works, take it someplace else. See where it goes. Terraforming is very much in demand. If you could terraform the moon, you could only terraform a small part of it, I would imagine. Well, maybe not. Maybe you could do the whole thing. The question is how to get an atmosphere on it and water. Once you figure that one out, I think you're on your way. But just thought I'd mention, if I was you, I would be writing Congress and saying, NASA, don't cut NASA. We need to bolster them. Because you know what? We may have done something great with NASA in the past, but that's the past. What are we doing now? And what are other nations doing now? Maybe the moon will be Chinese. Maybe Mars will be Russian. Maybe the asteroid belt will be mined by India. I don't know. If we don't get on the stick, somebody else will. Just thought I'd mention it. That's all for now. Until later. Be seeing you.